Okay, so, it's been a while since I did a video. So I'm going to try to cram 3 different topics in one. One, I'm going to do a little quick update. I've been working on my resers, so I picked up some stuff for my resers because it's been about a year since I played them. And so I've got some Crooked Men, I got Vultures and stuff like that. I could show you in a different video. So I'm going to be heading to a tournament this weekend, and I'm planning on taking my resers. So I should have, maybe a tournament summary for you guys. Maybe take some pictures and some video, that sort of thing. But what I really wanted to talk about is something that I think isn't really being discussed a lot amongst the Malifaux community, which is the new weird plastics versus the old metal. And so I'm just going to give you what I think about them. So what I have here is the rail crew, or most of it. I think I'm missing a rail worker. This is the Emberling, the totem. And then we have Kang. Sorry, I'm using the cheap camera. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to deal with that. And what I think, my gripe, I mean, it's not even a big gripe, but I think the community overall loves the new plastics. I do have a couple of things that I think, I don't know, just bothers me, and I thought I would have an open discussion with you guys. So I'm gonna, the main thing is I don't have like anything against the plastic as far as the material goes. I think it's pretty good material. And plastics, of course, is a little bit easier to work with if you're converting, and you don't have to worry about it chipping as much. So there's a lot of advantages. Plus, it's cheaper to make, and it's a great value because as you may have noticed, that the box sets actually come now with the totem, which is a big deal because it's one of the things that I always suggest that people should get is the, when they buy a box set, they say, what's the next thing I should get? I usually point them towards the totem. I think the totem makes a big deal. It either changes the way your crew works or it kind of extends what your crew can do. But enough about that. So my one gripe about the plastic is not that they're made out of plastic. I do tend to favor metal more. I'm a metal guy, I'm not gonna lie. What I don't like is the I guess they're the renders. So it's no longer a guy sculpting a model, it's a computer render. And so I thought I would do a little comparison and kind of pick like models. So here we have Kang, and here we have Mortimer. I picked these two, obviously, because they both have shovels. Now Kang you can, equip with a hammer or whatever. But another thing about these two guys is there's nothing uniquely Malifaux about them. They're not augmented in any way. They're not undead. They're not strange. Mortimer's just a dude with a shovel, and so is Kang. But if we look at Mortimer, let's see if I can get that in better focus. One, you notice his pose is more dynamic. And I really think that's because of the interpretation of the artist. But it's also small things. Like if you look at his little jacket here, you'll see a lot of exaggeration. And if we look at Kang here, there's just not that. It's almost like they're almost like perfect to the point of, there's no character to them. I think they lack character. Now it might be just the box set that I got. I also have the Mizaki box set, and I do like the poses on there. But just comparing these two, I would say that the pose on this guy is more dynamic, and there's just these little fine details here which are just, if you look at Kang, he's just static, you know. But I thought that was a good comparison. Even Mei Fang, right? Mei Fang, very dynamic pose, a very cool base, you know, with the wood coming up like it's, you know, she's about to rail jump or something. Compared to Seamus, who's in a more static pose, but there's just more character to him. Mei Fang's face is expressionless, while Seamus has this sort of these arched eyebrows. I know this is probably the wrong camera to do this. And if we look at his little rotten bell here, she's got this grin on her face, and there's just more character to a human sculptor in his interpretation of the artwork instead of just a computer. Even taking like the totem versus say like this is the Carry-On effigy. The one thing I liked about Weird, right, was that their models were different, strange. You know, there was something like cartoony about them, something tongue-in-cheek, where these kind of lack that. And I know it's a weird. I'm not saying that they're bad models, right? I'm just saying that they just don't seem to fit with the rest of the model range, you know. The one thing about Weird, I mean you have everything from like a little baby with a knife to you know, showgirls. But the one thing about them was there's always this kind of tongue-in-cheek thing about the way the models are sculpted. Even the most menacing guy, like Seamus, there's just something comical about it. And it's the one thing that ties the whole game together. And if we take a look at these rail workers, right? You know, good solid models. I like them. They're augmented, so they're kind of steampunky. But I mean, compare that guy to this Necropunk. I mean, there's just so much more character in this, and I don't know. Just I hope that. Now, one thing I'm glad that Weird went plastic, because I mean it is a value to the community. I mean, you're getting more bang for your buck when they went plastic. You're getting more models, and they're high quality. I just wish they would stick with sculptors, you know, a sculptor doing it instead of the computer rendition. I mean, this is one of my favorites. It's a Crooked Man, and there's just something oddly, I don't know, it's like the imperfections in the model make it more fun and characterful. I don't know how else to say it. I don't know what you guys think. Is it gonna prevent me from buying Weird models? No, I mean, it's just that I'm not as excited painting these guys as I am, you know, these the metal models. That's just my take. Let me know what you guys think. You know, it's not about materials or anything. I'm more concerned about having actual sculptors sculpt, and I don't care what the end product is. I don't care if it's resin, plastic, metal, as opposed to computer renders. Now, I played Dystopian Wars, which was all computer renders, but that's ships, vehicles, and planes. To me, that makes more sense. When we're dealing with heroic scale models, I'm not sure if it's the way to go. That's just my 2 cents, and let me know what you guys think. Alright, I will see you. Oh, and we're gonna go over some shuffling. Yeah, so let me just put the camera on pause while I move these models out of the way. So I don't knock them over. You know, I always thought that one of the cool thing about Malifaux is that you play with a deck of cards, so you can always learn some interesting card shuffles, and it kind of just adds, a little flavor to the game. So today's cut is called a helix cut. So I'm going to teach you guys how to do it. I'm new to it myself, so it's not as fast as I would like it to be. But basically, that is the helix cut, and it's two different types of cuts put together. And once you learn it, it's just a matter of practice to get the speed down. As you can see, trying to do this through the viewfinder kind of slowed down, but that's the gist of it. The first cut you want to learn is the pivot cut, and the way this starts is thumb's going to be at the bottom of the deck, and then you have your top hand like this. So you're gripping the cards like that. Peel off a packet with your pointer, and you could pivot it. With your other hand, you're going to grab that packet between the thumb and your pointer finger. And then this finger here is just going to disappear underneath, and you're going to peel another packet off. So with this, you kind of just you roll that out like that, allowing you to have room to grab another packet. That was pretty shallow. Let's try that again. So it rolls out, you grab it, you roll this other pack on top. So now you have your one of your fingers there creating space. And what you want to do is as you peel the other packet off, you're going to grab it with this finger and your thumb. So now you're holding the deck like this. What you can do at this point is you do a spin cut, and you could do another spin cut. Sorry, I lost it. That's why it's important to have the packet like that. And a little flip, and like that. So it's a pivot cut, right? You're gonna flip that out, another pivot cut, and another pivot cut. So the spin cut that you do once you have all three packets, it's pretty simple. You're gonna peel off a packet like this and roll it across one finger until it lands into your hand. And you can do it reverse with the two thumbs. Okay? So the first cut is a pivot. Now you have three packets like that. Now you can do a reverse pivot cut. And you can come back around, and you can either do the top or the middle packet. Do the other pivot cut. Like so. Let's try that one more time. So and that's your helix. So that's your card trick of the day. Hope you enjoyed it. Let's all practice it. Like I said, I'm just starting to pick it up. So what you want to do is practice this move first, which is the pivot cut to that. And then you could practice doing, your spin cuts. And yeah, I'll leave you with that.